If you want to learn a language and actually be able to speak it, this app will help you get fluent fast. Language learning is very simple. You just need to do three things. You need to learn a lot of useful words and sentences. You need to do a lot of listening, and you need to do a lot of speaking practice with feedback. And this app will help you do exactly that. This is not some gamified nonsense. You don't have streaks and cute animals here. It's all about learning useful sentences that you want to use in real life, listening to the language a lot, and speaking the language a lot. Noticing when you make mistakes and getting corrected. All right, that's basically it. So, this is how it works. You get lists of sentences organized by topic or by level, and you learn them through repetition, listening, repeating aloud, and by doing active recall. Practice your ability to remember those sentences as fast as possible and as correctly as possible, and you'll be able to use them in real conversations. So you take a list of sentences like this one here, questions and answers. How are you? I'm fine, thanks. What's your name? My name is this. Where are you from? I'm from this place. And you listen to the sentences while having the meaning in front of you. So you actually understand what you are listening to. This is step one.
Kako si? Dobro sam, hvala. Kako se zoveš? Zovem se Alex. Odakle si? Ja sam iz Kanade.
If you think this is fast, you can adjust here in the settings so that you get half a second pause between sentences, 1 second pause between sentences, etc. Make it playback speed, increase it, decrease it, or you could also get 2 or 3 or more reps per sentence. So step one is understanding what you are listening to. And for that, you need to simply read while listening with the meaning on. You do it once, you do it again, you do it 3, 4, 5 times. And once you are confident enough, you start doing it without the meaning on to check if you're able to understand it or not, right?
Ja sam iz Kanade. Gdje živiš? Gdje živiš?
Where do you live?
Živim u Torontu.
I live in Toronto. If you understand them well, then you give it 5 stars here. If you don't understand it well, you give it 4 stars or less, right? I know this already because I've been doing a lot of repetition with them, as you can see here. So that's step one, comprehension. Read while listening with the meaning on. Once you think you understand them well enough, read while listening without the meaning on until you can understand them easily. And then you keep listening to them in the background while you do other things. You can listen to your sentences while you work out, while you drive, you go for runs, do dishes, whatever. As many reps as possible, but only once you understand them when you listen to them. If you don't understand them yet, then you're wasting your time, all right? So first, read while listening over and over to make sure you understand that specific list. And once you understand them easily, then you keep listening to them, reviewing them this way, because reviewing, spaced repetition is really important. And you can get lots of it without having to go through lots of flashcards by simply listening to your sentences in the background. As long as you've learned them well already, you can review them in the background by listening while you're doing something else. Then you also need to practice actively, right? In order to speak a language well, you need to do speaking practice. And for that, there are 2 main things you can do. So first, you can increase pause duration, 1, 2, 3 repetitions per sentence, maybe 5 if you are a beginner. And with enough pause duration between sentences, you start listening and repeating. This is extremely simple, but if you do it daily, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, half an hour a day of listening and repeating sentences, this will do a lot for your speaking skills. Just doing this. And if you want to work specifically on your pronunciation, then what I recommend is increasing the number of reps per sentence to 5 and repeating the same sentence 5 times. You'll do fewer sentences per session, but you'll end up saying them much better because the second, third, fourth, fifth time you repeat the same sentence, every time you'll notice some small detail about the way the native speaker voice says it. So you make small adjustments and your pronunciation will get better by doing this. This is much more effective than doing it with random sentences and doing it only once, right? This is targeted. That's for basic fluency, to develop muscle memory, for your mouth to get used to the language, the sounds of the language, and also to notice and learn the right pronunciation of the language. And then we come to the other mode, which is active recall, and this is remembering the sentences. You not only have to be able to say the sentences fluently with good pronunciation, say it easily without bumbling, you also have to remember them fast enough and correctly enough in real time. So for that, this is what you need, right? This will make you fluent way faster than anything else, right? So instead of wasting thousands of hours watching comprehensible input videos and things like that, you should do a lot of this, right? Listening and repeating sentences that are useful, and then practicing saying them from memory with feedback. How are you? Kako ste? Kako si? Dobar sam, hvala. Kako se zoveš? Zovem se Alex. Odakle si? Etc. You practice saying them from memory, right? And that's basically it. That's all you need to do with enough sentences to speak a language. Useful sentences, listen while reading until you understand them easily. Keep listening without the translation and the text in front of you, so that you make sure you're able to understand them just by listening. And this is also spaced repetition, simple, easy. It doesn't take any time. You can do it while doing anything else. You practice your fluency and pronunciation by listening and repeating sentences, lots of repetition, and then you practice saying them from memory by translating from your language into the target language, and then you check if you said it correctly or not. That's it. This is all you need. So what's the content available, and in which order should you learn it? You have two categories of sentences, the vocabulary and the language islands, and they serve different purposes. And in which order you should learn them is very simple. You should learn whatever is useful, the most useful for you first. So if you want to speak the language in a specific context, you can come to language islands here. And let's say you want to travel or you want to move abroad or something like that, then you focus on learning these sentences, right? It's organized by topic. The basics, I do recommend you learn them, especially this here, the questions and answers, language patterns. What's your name? My name is this. Where are you from? I'm from this place. These are very simple, basic questions and answers that you can use to learn the basics of the language quickly through repetition. All the basic grammar, basic vocab, and in a basic conversation, especially if you're talking to strangers, there's going to be a lot of simple questions and answers. So if you learn this, you improve your conversational level quickly. So the basics, questions and answers, language patterns, I highly recommend you learn this when you start, if you're a beginner. But after that, whatever you want the language for. If you want to learn to be able to speak with your spouse, then maybe this is useful. If you want to learn it for travel, this is useful. Eating out, of course. Maybe you want it for work. And each one of these categories has a list of islands, right? So there's no single fixed path you should follow. You should focus on learning whatever you find useful, right? So if you don't want to learn to speak about your work, for example, just skip it completely. If you want to learn to talk about whatever hobbies you have, learn those first. Learn whatever you are going to use, right? Really important. But as you can see, you get thousands and thousands of sentences. You need to prioritize, focus on the stuff you're going to use, do the most repetitions with that. But after that, try to learn as much as possible, because you will want to be able to understand other stuff as well, right? So the more sentences you learn, the better. But especially at first, until you're conversational, spend most of your time doing a lot of repetition with the contexts, the topics, and the situations you're going to use the most, right? These are the language islands by topic, by context. And then vocabulary is slightly more traditional in a sense. You get A1 sentences, extremely basic. Yeah, A1 grammar and vocab, 4 parts. A2 grammar and vocab, 4 parts. Basic verb conjugations, it's included, although you can learn it by learning A1 and A2 grammar and vocab already. But just in case, if you want to focus on those specifically. Intermediate, B1, 4 parts, B2, 3 parts, and then the 300 most common adjectives, adverbs, and verbs. This, and there's not much in terms of advanced materials. We will include more materials. We're still working on it, but I think we have more than enough already to get you from whatever level you are to fluency already, right? This stuff, the C1 stuff, not really necessary if your goal is to be conversational in the language. So the goal here of this is for you to understand the basics of the language, the grammar and vocab, how it works, by simply seeing it in context. Lots of repetition, lots of sentences. You learn the structures of the language, the vocab in context, without studying rules. What I recommend you do is go through A1, then once you know this really well, then you go through A2, same thing, B1, B2, and then also these three lists, which will allow you to understand native speaker content much more easily. A lot of these will be common, and you will already know them from learning language islands and basic A1, A2 sentences. But other adverbs and adjectives and verbs here are less common because we don't use that many. We don't use 300, not even close in regular conversation. But the less common ones here will be useful to understand native speaker content, right? So if you want to watch shows or you want to listen to YouTube videos, things like that, by native speakers, if you want to understand native speaker content, learning this, and of course everything before that, but learning these three lists is going to be very useful. So that's what I recommend. You focus on A1 for a few weeks, a couple of weeks maybe, then A2, lots of repetition, B1, B2, and you do lots of reps with a list, then with the next, then with the next. This is more for comprehension. For speaking though, learn the basics, questions and answers, language patterns, and then the specific topics you want to be able to talk about and the specific contexts you will use the language in. Should you just do vocabulary till the end and then do language islands or vice versa? No, I recommend you do both simultaneously. So you learn the A1 vocab, lots of repetition, and at the same time, so every day you do both A1 vocab and specific language island that you want to learn first. And you do a bit of both or a lot of both every day. And once you know those two well, then you go to A2 vocab and another language island that you want to learn really well, while still listening to the previous sentences regularly by simply, just play it in the background while you do something else and get more reps. Every few days, just review it by listening to it. And eventually, if you feel confident enough, or early on, if you want to get results quickly and you don't mind doing hard work, then early on you already try doing the active recall part, right? Translates into the target language, which is much harder, but will get you fluent quickly. This is how you can create your own language islands in the app. You can do two things. First of all, you can select sentences from the language islands and vocabulary lists that we have. You click on a sentence, you push it right, and then you click here and you save it to a custom list. This way you can take the most useful sentences from the tens of thousands of sentences available among all the lists, and you can focus on learning the most important ones, the most useful ones for you. All right, you learn those first really well, and then you learn the rest. That's the first thing you can do, but you can also, and they'll be here in my collections, but you can also come here, import new island, sentences, give it a name, you paste your text here, already translated into the target language. You paste here, create island, and you'll get an island with the sentences that you want to use. Anything that you paste there. These are the languages that the app offers so far. 2 types of English, British and American English, 2 types of Spanish, Spain and Latin American Spanish, French, German, Italian, Brazilian Portuguese, Russian, Arabic, Turkish, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, Bosnian, and Basque. You will notice that most of these languages are big languages spoken by hundreds of millions of people. Most of them really popular. A lot of people want to learn them, except these two, which are small languages, and they have been included sooner than other languages. That's like Polish, for example, which I get a lot of messages from people who want Polish included. We're working on it. We'll include more languages soon. But the reason why these two have been included so early is because this is my native language, and this is the native language of the developers who've made this app possible. That's why they've been included so fast. If you want to learn other languages that haven't been included yet, we will be adding a poll in which you can vote. And the languages that get the most votes will get added faster. We plan on adding more and more languages as fast as we can, but for now we focused on getting these languages to a level where the audio quality is good and the sentences are correct and it works well. We're focused on quality first instead of adding more and more languages before getting this right. Now, this is how the stats work. Once you've been doing some reps with a language, you've been learning a language, you'll get your level here, right? So the way you increase your level from A1, it says A0 here, but should start with A1 really. From A1 all the way to C2, you increase your level by learning more sentences. Now, the way it works, and you've probably noticed, you get a comprehension level and a speaking level, because those two are different things. The way it works is this. The more sentences you give 5 stars to in the comprehension part, listening and repeating, or reading, listening without the meaning, and you understand that, you give it 5 stars. The more sentences you give 5 stars, the more sentences the higher the more this bar will grow, and eventually when it gets here, you'll get to the next level, which in my case should be B1 for Bosnian. The same thing for speaking, but by doing active recall. And you probably noticed that my speaking is below my comprehension for Bosnian and most languages, really, probably all languages, because speaking is a different skill from understanding a language, from listening or reading, and it's much more difficult. And to accurately, or as accurately as possible, tell you what your level is, your speaking level is, we've separated both, because otherwise the app could give you a B1, B2 level in the language, and you still wouldn't be able to have a basic conversation. That's not the way it should be. I think that often people are able to understand the language relatively well, but they're not able to speak. And in that case, your comprehension level should be separated from your speaking level. So you can have a really basic speaking level, A1 even, while you have a B2 or C1 level of comprehension. This is what happens if you mostly or exclusively learn by doing comprehensible input, for example. You can get very good at listening and reading, but you're still not able to speak. So in order to avoid that, you should do a lot of the active recall part and do it aloud by saying the sentences aloud, checking if you said it correctly or not, being honest with the scores you give yourself, right? Only give 5 stars if you actually got it right, and do it regularly so that you learn thousands of sentences actively and your speaking level improves, right? This is really important. If you only do passive reps with the app and you never do active recall and you never repeat anything aloud, don't come crying to me saying that the app doesn't work, right? If you want to improve your speaking level, you need to repeat the sentences aloud and you need to do active recall. It's hard work, but it's the only way to learn to speak fluently, right? Other than by speaking to people. I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to practice actively. Otherwise, your speaking level in the app won't improve and your speaking level in real life won't improve either. So do a lot of repetition with the total amount of hours you've done of listening. The more reps you do, the better, all right? So you take 1,000 sentences, more or less, the basics, and do 50 or 100,000 reps with them, 30, 40, or 50 hours of reps with the basic 1,000 sentences you want to learn. Lots of repetition with the same ones, and that will help speak better. But don't count only the reps, count the total active words learned and the active sentences learned, right? These are the total words sentences I've learned, the total words I've learned, but I've done very little active recall, so these are the ones I can use actively for now. This number will increase drastically before my trip to Croatia this summer. The last month, before the trip, I'll practice actively. I'll do lots of repetition, but also a lot of active recall. So this should increase to several thousand. So then I'll be conversationally fluent, right? So make sure you do a lot of passive reps, but you also do a lot of active recall, right? In order to be actually conversational, you need a number in the thousands here, right? Active words, active sentences. Otherwise, you will not be able to speak. This is really important. This part is really important, right? So lots of total reps. Listen to the sentences while you work out, while you drive, as many reviews as possible of the sentences you've already practiced, but also practice actively every day, right? Active repetition, really important. All right, I'm going to answer your questions now about the app. Popular Music says, is it possible to add my own language islands to the app? Yes, from Google Spreadsheet or XLSX. Does it have TTS? Yes, you can paste any kind of text, as I explained earlier in the video, and you get text-to-speech voice with exactly the same voices as we use in the app. You can learn those sentences that you import exactly the same way as all the other sentences already available in the app. You can also share your sentences with other users, or you'll be able to do it if it's not if that feature is not available yet. But yes, you can 100% import your own language islands. Mr. Besky says the app comes out the 29th for me at 6 p.m. It's 1st of June, and the app just came out, right? Sabrina spricht says, ich schaue jeden Tag auf der Webseite, ob es denn endlich soweit ist. Die App ist jetzt verfügbar. Sie können es herunterladen. Adin 77 Muslim says, honestly, I expect a great app given how good your videos are. Thank you. I think the app works really well, and it will only keep getting better because we'll continue working on it. Silver Birch Tree says, I'm hoping that this will truly be the app that aids learning rather than the gaming language apps available. This is not a gamified app. This is going to be, and it looks quite dry and gray and something made by by accountants or yeah. It's for adults, all right? It's not for kids. It's not gamified. This is designed to make you fluent. At points, it'll be boring, repetitive, but it will get you results, all right? Nikos Alexas says, looking forward, wishing good success. Thank you. I hope you like it. Fiorix F1, this app will be a game changer. Long waited for it. Yeah, I think so as well. It's going to be a game changer. And nobody's waited longer than me for it. We've been working on it for 9 months now, I think. Which languages will be available? As I explained earlier, it's English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Turkish, Arabic, Basque, Bosnian, and we'll be adding a dozen or so languages soon. And we'll keep adding more and more languages in different rounds, depending on which ones there's the most demand for. Buzz09, looking forward. Random Witch, can't wait. Congrats. Thanks. It's been over a week now. Yeah, shouldn't wait for approval from Apple. Yeah, we've been waiting for a while for Apple, for them to approve it. But now it's been approved and you should be able to download it from App Store. Now the website says it's coming June the 1st. Yeah, we've been having more and more delays, but now 100% it's available for download. Will it be free with ads, a subscription service, or a one-time purchase? Please make a short video about it. These polls messages are so easily missable. Yeah, well, I'm making a long video about it. It will be not free with ads, it'll be freemium, so you can use, well, for the first month, it'll be completely for free. So you can use the whole app, all the features. After that, you'll have a lot of content for free, and then some of the nicer features will be behind the paywall. But still, even for free, you'll be able to do a lot with it. Salvatore Mancini says, I'm super excited. I will definitely be downloading as soon as it is available. It is available now. Imran Muhammad says, can't wait to figure it out. Seamus, let's go, can't wait. There aren't that many questions here. It's mostly people being excited about it, which is good. How many languages will it have? Yeah, I think I've already answered this several times. AO Con says, will Basque be available? Yes, it will. Tom Evans, very happy for you and us. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Rich Gibson, this looks good. Different vibe. Can't wait. Congrats. Thanks. Jag says, so many people here asking if it will be free. you already receive so much. It will have a lot of free content. The app will. So if you don't want to or can't pay for it, you'll still be able to learn with it. You'll have thousands of sentences for free, so don't worry about it. But thanks. Make sure we keep talking. Can't wait because I've been following your technique and the results are amazing. Thanks. Amazing. Thank you for the update. Please release a video showcasing the app. Well, that's what I'm doing. Will Thai be on soon? I hope so. I think so as well. I think a lot of people are asking about Thai, so we should include it soon. How much will cost a lifetime subscription? I don't think we've got that in mind, but we'll talk about it. But it'll have a monthly subscription for now. Cannot wait. Maddie, thanks. Are we going to be able to practice speaking? Yeah, by listening and repeating sentences and by doing active recall. The Jelly experience, this is perfect. Thanks. Is there going to be a Finnish language? Eventually, yes. Will there be a free plan? Will be like some other app that have a limit of languages or words. I mean, of course, the free version will have some limits, but you'll be able to do quite a lot with the free version. Ed Latimore says, looking forward to it. What makes it different? Well, watch the rest of the video. But basically, it's an app designed to make you fluent, and it focuses on the stuff that's sometimes boring and it's hard work, but it works. Is Hungarian among the supported languages? Not yet, but a lot of people are asking for it, so it will be soon. How much will it cost? Says Linda, around €9 a month for the premium version. Will you be able to learn Albanian and Greek with the app? They're not included yet, but they will be, especially Greek. A lot of people are asking about Greek. Congratulations, thanks. Bardzo dobrze. Please add Slovak. Yeah, eventually. Yes, great news. Is this app free? Okay, I think if the questions are repeated, looking forward to the app. Just downloaded the app. Seems to only have... Yeah, this was a few days ago, so it wasn't available for download yet. Now it's 100% online. Everything works, or should work. So feel free to go to the description. And I think that was the last question. Yeah, feel free to go to the description, download the app, and give me your feedback. It's not perfect yet. There are things that, like with anything else, the moment you launch it, there'll be some bugs or some errors that need fixing. The more feedback you give us, the faster we'll fix them, all right? But I hope you like it, and thanks for the support. Let me know what you think.